plan together. So we sit down with the student, we sit down with the parents, and we determine what institution, what post-secondary institution the student wants to study. It could be college, it could be university. We determine which one. Inside the city, outside the province, abroad Canada, let's figure it out in grade 11. What is the undergrad you want to study, the prerequisite courses you need, and what grade you need to work for. No use being in all these subjects when, let's say, you want to go to UFT and the grade point average is a 92 and you're achieving a 70. No point, right? You need to know what you need to work toward. Very important, right from grade 11. Okay, so this is something what it looks like. That's why we have the GP average. So it's always on the mindset of the student. So all our students who apply to post-secondary education get accepted, and we're very proud of that. And not only get accepted, it's one thing to get accepted, it's another thing to be ready for it, right? To be ready, to be successful in your first year in university. Let's face it, a lot of people drop in their first year university, okay? So this is always the end goal, is not just getting them to university, but readying them that they feel confident when they go to their first year that they are successful. Some of our students also go to Durham, Sheridan, or Seneca. The second pillar of our philosophy, as I mentioned before, is a very close relationship with our parents. That is very, very important that the teachers and the administrators and the parents always work alongside, always support and understand and able maybe sometimes to push or to encourage our children to be the best that they could possibly be. And you can't do that on your own. You need a team of people behind you. And when that student feels that there is a team that they could lean to, they become more responsible in their learning. We also schedule parent-teacher meetings. Throughout the school year, it is important that parents understand how their child is tracking or how their child is progressing throughout the school year, because it's always a team effort. I don't want to go into a meeting with a parent and you say, well, I didn't know my child was failing. Why didn't you tell me earlier? What? This is a surprise to me. There's never no surprises. Why are there no surprises? It's because we always communicate. You know exactly where your child is at on that day. If they're dropping the ball, you know it. Students here can't be a shadow on the wall. Okay, you can't run, you can't hide, you can't be a shadow. A lot of eyes are always on you. Sometimes it's a good thing, sometimes it's not a good thing, depending on how you see it. I think it's a fantastic thing. I think sometimes we need more eyes on us when we are adolescents, right? We need those check-ins, because without the eyes, what happens? Students get sidetracked, easily sidetracked. We also publish monthly newsletters, and this is an opportunity for us to highlight the achievements of our students. We have high school students included in the monthly newsletter where they write articles, they take pictures, they're part of the planning stage. I even have students who create newsletter videos for us, which is absolutely fantastic. This is a skill that they could put on their resume. It shows great leadership and technical skills. So we like to give our students always opportunities to shine in areas that they are interested in. And we also hold virtual monthly parent council meetings. We have a chair and a co-chair, and they encourage our parents to always bring their voices forward. Okay, we like to always get feedback of our parents when it comes to activities or school initiatives. We want this feedback. With with our parents, we always have a tracking sheet. So especially in grades 9 and 10, because sometimes students in grades 9 and 10 are not independent learners. All right? They don't tell their parents what they did in their school day. They don't tell even sometimes their parents the courses they have taken. Right? And so our parents get a daily report on their child. What courses they're taking, what is being taught, are they understanding the concept, what challenges they are, and what will the teacher do next to help that child. So hypothetically speaking, you don't have to have that conversation at dinner to say, what did you do today? Why? Because you know everything what your child did that day. And then when the child gets more independent, because that's always the end goal, right? I don't want to report to students who are in grade 12. If I need to report to students in grade 12, that's a bit of a problem, right? By grade 12, you are an emerging adult. You're 17, 18 years old. You should be independent. You should take responsibility and accountability for your learning, right? But to get to that level, you'll need the crutches. You'll need the support. And this is where we come in. Our third pillar is beyond the curriculum. So just as academics are important, so is the non-academic courses. And why is that? Is that they complement each other. Together, they create student life, right? What's the point of always doing academics when I don't have an outlet to help me express my artistic abilities, to help me advance in the interests that I have? School just becomes one track. And when you go to university or when you go to college, they're not always looking for the student who's the 98. Many students have 98. They're looking, are you well-rounded? What do you do in your spare time? What are your hobbies? How have you contributed to your community and to your school? So it's not, if you think it's all about grades, it's not. Because they will ask you, it's called a supplementary application. They will ask you, what have you done? Okay, we're always looking for well-rounded students. So we do, for experiential learning, we do have trips that our students take that is aligned with the curriculum once a month. We do, now a lot of students are in the community for a long period of time. Maybe they're very well connected and they could find their own volunteer. They don't need the assistance of the school to help them. But just in case, with those individuals that need that little push, that need the window, the doors of opportunity open a little bit, we are there. We work closely with the town of Ajax. We have our students who are part of the fundraising events, the community theater. So we will try to find students volunteer placements within the community. It's a given that they always have volunteer here in the school. That's a given. There are so many opportunities for our high school students to do volunteer work, helping the elementary students. It could be reading, it could be coding, it could be helping in math. That's a given. Okay? Nothing to worry about when they're in the school. But sometimes your volunteer, you want it outside the school, not just inside the school. Cambridge International Academy sponsors a nonprofit organization called Culture Links. And Culture Links delivers these free programs to students in Ontario, Quebec, and I believe also in BC. And we have a great reading club program. So students sometimes in grade 9 and 10 want to be part of this reading club, but students in grade 11 and 12 may want to volunteer. And it's all online. It's a convenient way for them to do that. And this gives them some experience to help a teacher, right, become a TA to help students either write or to do some discussions. We are also paired up with Toastmasters. So we have Toastmasters not only online through Culture Links, but Toastmasters does come to the school once a week on Thursdays. It's a 10-week program. So some of my students in grade 12 who have done Toastmasters, they've done Toastmasters for 2 years. They're not interested in participating. So this will be a great opportunity for them to get volunteer work. Last but not least, we always encourage our students to participate in competitions. It could be math, it could be in writing, especially if you're going into engineering. If you want to apply to Waterloo, then they actually request you to write the Euclid test. So sometimes it's of most benefit for you to do that. We also like our students to do Deca and Model UN. I don't know if any of you know Deca. Deca is a competition that allows high school students to experience, to overcome, let's say, their fear of public speaking, to use their knowledge of what they learned in business, in high school, and apply those terminologies, apply those theories in a competition form. Okay? There are 3 levels for Deca. I know one is a writing level, one is a presentation, and the ultimate one then is a role play. And many people also get scholarships if you win with Deca. But it doesn't matter. It's not about winning or losing in the end, really. It's not about you coming first place. It's not what exactly universities or colleges are looking for. It's the thought that you challenged yourself, that you participated in something, that you had a goal and you fulfilled it. Model UN is also, I really like Model UN. My 2 sons participated in Model UN. It's not necessarily a competition as opposed to you becoming a delegate. So you are given a country, not of your choosing. They will hand you the country that you are given, and they will give you a global topic. So let's say it is global warming or climate change, right? Then you have to do research using the perspective and the view of the country you were given. So that's different. It's not me doing research and finding information. I have to research what is the perspective of the country on that topic, and then present my findings. And last but not least, for our pillar 4 is certainly our faculty. I am very proud of the hard working of our teachers and administrators who really go above and beyond to help our students reach their academic excellence. You know, their students is just not a number. They value the voice of their students. They respect their students. They listen to their opinions of their students. So when students, high school students, walk in, there's no attitude. There's no chip on one shoulder, right? You trust the teacher and the teacher trusts you. And when you have that strong teacher-student relationship, what happens to that student? That student excels because they know they are in a learning environment, that they are loved, that they are cared for, and everyone is in their best interest. That is my first question all the time. Is it in my student's best interest? If it's not in my student's best interest, I will never stand by it. Never. It has to be in their best interest. All right, so would you be so kind, talk about academics?
Talking about academics, sorry, I'm not as loud as Sandra, so I have to use the microphone. I'm going to focus on math and English to start off with. Just so you know, we follow the Ontario curriculum, but we go beyond what's required in the Ontario curriculum. So for English, the strands that we have to cover are media literacy, oral communication, reading, and writing. We have a strong focus on writing. It's really important to get our students ready for what they have to do in post-secondary. Being able to write, being able to communicate with your writing is critically important. But how do we get them there? So in order to get there, we provided scaffolded instruction. We teach the basics of how to write. And we do this at every grade level. There is a certain level of expectation as you move, as you come into high school, as you move through the grades, there is a level of expectation, well, you should know how to do this already. But you know what, just in case you don't, we're gonna start here. And we're gonna start here at the beginning and give you the ladders, the steps of the ladder to get you where you need to go. And one of the most important steps in that ladder is the peer editing and the one-to-one counseling and guidance and feedback that we provide to students long before we get to the stage where we're grading anything. So before, for example, before an essay is even graded, your teacher will look at your work probably 2, 3, maybe even 4 times to give you feedback, give you an opportunity to make improvements before you actually submit it for a grade. Now, we also recognize that not everybody, despite our efforts, not everybody's strength is writing. So we also assess according to the other strengths. So looking, for example, at oral communication, sometimes it makes more sense to do a presentation, to have students deliver a presentation, to engage in a debate, to be able to, the key thing is to be able to demonstrate your understanding of the content. And there are lots of different ways that you can do that. The important thing here too is presentations and debates. These are important, these are transferable skills, these are important life skills. In grade 9, we start right from grade 9, actually in our elementary division we have lots of kids doing presentations, but definitely in grade 9, quite a few presentations. By grade 12, every single course, even the math courses, have presentations. So, and by grade 12, students are very comfortable delivering their presentations. Looking at the math curriculum, there's been some changes in the ministry in recent years. But just to start off with, what we're offering here is, again, according to the ministry, so grade 9 is de-streamed, grade 10 academic, 11 college, mixed, and university, and grade 12, the 3 basic maths, advanced functions, calculus, and data management. So these are the math courses offered in every high school. We use technology and offer support. We use PhotoMath, Desmos, iExcel, Fathom, any digital resource that we can find, that we can use, and some of them you may be familiar with, but anything to help engage the students in their learning, to help them grow in their learning, we definitely are open to discovering and using. Just really quickly, PhotoMath is actually an app where this is great for homework help. It's an app some of the kids may be familiar with. When you can't solve the problem, a lot of the grade 12, high school textbooks have the questions and then the answer in the back. So if you're at home and you're trying to figure out how to get to that answer, PhotoMath helps show you the steps. So it's something where you don't have to wait till the next day to come back to class to figure out the steps. Desmos is a graphing software. iExcel offers skill and drill practice, more so for the lower levels of high school and the higher levels. But definitely beneficial because students come from all different types of schools, and sometimes they need, they just need to strengthen some of their basic skills, and iExcel helps with that. Fathom is statistical software we use in our grade 12 data management course. Excellent tool, and something similar to that is used in universities. Now, before I move on, we provide, just wanted to make it very clear, our class sizes are small, so because of that, we're able to provide the remediation and the enrichment that all students need. Okay, so focusing on the revisions in the grade 9 math curriculum, 3 major changes. You'll see the changes in blue there. So in the math strands of the math curriculum, there's been addition of social and emotional learning. So that's the first one. The third one, there's been a change in algebra, the addition of coding, and the last one, financial literacy. So social emotional learning. This is really important. This is when we have students coming to us saying, I'm not good at math. I suck at math. My mom said she wasn't good at math. My dad said she wasn't good at math. We're just not good at math. So social emotional learning is part of the instruction where we say, we don't want to hear that. We want to hear you're not good at math. It's okay to say I'm not good at math yet, and to recognize that maybe you need some additional support, and we're here to provide that support. Okay, so it's about a mentality. It's about thinking about that you're not limited to what you've done before. Okay, you may not have had great success before, but you'll be surprised at what you can do with our help. Okay, but you have to be open to it. So it's talking through that. Very important. In algebra, well, I'll circle back to this, but there's coding added to the grade 9 math curriculum, which is excellent. So actually from kindergarten up to grade 9, coding has been integrated. And financial literacy. This is also really awesome, especially for the grade 9 students. The question that grade 9 math teachers get the most is, why do I have to know this? How am I going to use this? So the financial literacy component, at least we answer that question. We're able to answer that question. You're going to plan a budget. You're going to deliver a budget. You're going to use the knowledge learned in how to create a budget in a very practical, real-life way. Okay, so the 5 strands here we have. So again, like I said, there was the addition of coding in the curriculum at the grade 9 level. It's under algebra, debugging and problem solving. But what we did, what we've done here at Cambridge, spent a lot of time, figuring out how to incorporate coding into all the strands, coding and computational thinking into all the strands, while still covering the curriculum requirements. And we did it quite successfully this year. So we have coding activities for every single strand, some of them across more than one strand, well, most of them across more than one strand. So we're really proud of the program that we have. The coding keeps students engaged, keeps them interested, helps them build on what they know already, and helps us deliver the curriculum. So here I have an example of coding integration. So this is a calculator that a student created using Scratch. So it's an awesome thing. This covers number sense as well as algebra. So let me just switch over to the calculator to demonstrate. And I have to say, most people think of Scratch as something just for like younger children, and it's quite successfully used at the grade 9 level. So this is our calculator here. Our young girl says, what would you like to do? Addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, or exponents. I'm going to go ahead and put in exponents because it's grade 9. What's your base? Let's go with 10. Base of 10. To what power? To the 4th power. And here we have our answer. So this is a calculator that was created using code in Scratch by a student. Let's take a look here, see inside. Because it seems simple enough. But when we look inside, you can see there's actually quite a few coding blocks involved in creating this calculator. Okay? It's a very satisfying experience for our students as well. All right, so moving on, student success and engagement. So I'm sure you've picked up on this by now. We are delivering the curriculum, but we're doing it in a way that keeps students interested and engaged. And we set them up for success. So in terms of engagement, the hands-on activities and technology we use in science, we use, like I said, IXL, we use gizmos. English enrichment, we use edublogs where students actually create a blog, a way to demonstrate their learning, something that they can be proud of. We are proud to offer student success seminars. This is particularly for our grade 9 students, incoming grade 9 students, where outside of the school day, they are given instruction on how to organize themselves, how to prepare for how to deliver a presentation, how to do MLA and APA formatting, how to summarize what you're reading, how to take notes, and how to use those notes to study. So we provide seminars, all these how-to seminars, again, to set up our students for success. Some more notes on the ministry changes. So like I said, math has been streamed. It was applied this year. Moving forward for next year, for those of you who have children going into grade 9, all the core subjects will be de-streamed. So math, science, English, geography, and French. So this is, we appreciate this change. I think it's a positive change because before what we were saying is We were asking your 13 and 14-year-old to make decisions about the rest of their lives by choosing applied or academic at that age, right? So it's a pretty big decision, and you can easily make the wrong decision. With de-streaming, they don't have to make that decision. Certainly not in grade 9, okay? The challenge for us as teachers is now we have kids who are maybe not so strong in a subject area in the same class with students who are really strong in a subject area. But that's okay. It's okay here at Cambridge because we have such small class sizes. We are able to provide remediation for the students who need it. We're also at the same time able to provide the enrichment for the students who need it. So our small class sizes, our way around that challenge. If you can sort of picture, in a public school setting, 25 to 30 kids, it's a much harder thing to do. Some kids get bored, or some kids get lost. That doesn't happen here. You're not allowed, you're not permitted to be a fly on the wall here. Okay, looking at how we grade. In terms of, again, this is determined by the ministry for the most part. There's like a 70-30 rule, we call it. So 70% of your grade for all your high school courses is based on your everyday work, your quizzes, your tests, your presentations, your debates, everything that's assessed within the everyday running of your course. That's 70% of your grade. And then there's a 30% component, which is your culminating. So just your culminating tasks, presentations, performance, demonstration, depending on the course, as well as a final exam. Okay? The 30%, we have to do that for the ministry, but we're flexible as to how we do that. So if it's the kind of course where presentations make more sense, the 30% component could be 20% presentation and 10% exam. Okay? If it's a course where the written test makes more sense and students have a greater success, then we adjust the percentage, the weighting accordingly. Okay, so this is a brand new thing we're pleased to talk about. Sandra mentioned advanced placement courses. We have this set up for next year. We have received approval by the College Board, which is the sort of worldwide organization that allows advanced placement courses to happen. So we've applied, we've received approval to design and implement courses at the AP level. Once a year, students take AP exams. When they pass the exam with a level 3, then they get the credit. And they get that advanced placement credit. Again, they go to university, they get exemptions from courses, but more importantly, as Sandra pointed out, 2 things: it keeps students challenged. The second thing is it creates a pathway. It helps open up a pathway for students who want to go to those higher level Ivy League type schools, because it is a requirement for those schools. We've been working with a teacher who has a lot of experience in advanced placement courses, and so we have a quick video where she's going to introduce herself and talk a bit about it. Her name is Lydia Day. Oops, sorry.
Hello everyone, my name is Lydia W. I'm happy to be here today. In the 5 minutes, we're going to talk about AP, which is advanced placement. Just to introduce some very basic, but very essential knowledge about it. Okay, so the first is about me. I graduated from Fudan University, which is California in China, and become a journalist. Then I got a full scholarship and went to Cornell and finished my 2 master's degree in 2.5 years. Then because I'm very passionate about education, I went to Canada, and in just 5 years, I already have lots of tutoring experience in SAT, AP, and many students just got into top 30 universities in the United States. So this is kind of like the very brief introduction about myself. And currently, I still have a couple students. They are on grade 9 because if you already want to aim for the best universities, you already need to start earlier. And adolescents start from like grade 9 or grade 10. Okay, then the adolescent placement. Actually, the reason why we call it advanced is because this kind of courses, they're college level courses offered in high school. So, which means if you are going to take it, it's going to be very helpful for you to demonstrate you have very strong academic potential and capability. That's important for the admission office in the college. This is one thing, and the other thing, you can also just already kind of like get the credits. If you just earn like a 3 or 4 or 5, 5 is like the full score for the AP through the tests. And after you just already earn this kind of like a score, and you are able to bring the credits you just took in high school to the college, which means that some students that may skip kind of like very basic courses in the university for their freshmen, and just already jump into more challenging courses and learn more. And some other students just take advantage of this time, kind of like really kind of like great or picky, and they're going to just do something like double degrees or kind of like finish the university in 3 years rather than 4. Okay, so this is kind of like AP courses. It has been offered by the College Board. So you can see there are lots of them. And I really recommend students to just choose the courses according to their future major or future interest. For example, if you really want to be a scientist or engineers, you probably should choose something from here, right? The math, or maybe biology, or maybe physics, or maybe chemistry. If you are really interested in like humanity or social science, of course, all of this are very important for you. Econ, psychology, or history actually is required college. Okay. So for the AP benefits, we already introduced a little bit about it. And actually, you can take the AP courses as many times as you want. What do I mean that? I mean, for every May, you're going to have the test for the AP. If you're not like certified with a school God, you can definitely just retake it for the next year. But I highly recommend you just prepare some better before you're taking it, right? And for like the college admissions perspective, you can see 85% of selected colleges and universities, they just really like students' AP experience.
My academic skills, and I've created a very special bond with the teachers and students here, and it's one of my favorite places to be. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Hassan. I came to Cambridge for them to help me with my credits to get into university.
Go to film industry university in the future.
Hi, my name is Mila. It's my first year here. I'm in grade 9. I started my high school career here. And me and all my siblings go, and we really enjoy being here and all the clubs and student council.
Okay, and Carl is up. This is one of our parents.
Can you take this off, social distancing?
Yes, it's okay.
So, you guys have all heard a whole bunch of information, and it's really great information, but it's a lot to take in. I think the most important thing about this school is you just heard from 4 students that love it here, that have excelled here. As a parent, I brought my son here because he's always been a great student. He's always loved school from grade 1 to grade 6. He would never miss a day of school. There was no way I could get him to take a day off. Grade 7 and 8, school was okay. He still wanted to go. As soon as he got into high school, though, it was a different game. The system was a little bit different. And not to knock public schools, but you know what? If you're really good at something and you excel by yourself, the teachers work really good with you. If you don't excel really good, you're left down there to fend for yourself. And I'm just kind of being honest, you know. So I knew that there was potential in my son, and I wanted him to reach that potential. Man, I wish my parents felt that way when they moved to Canada about their kids. Then right now I wouldn't be trying to figure out what I want to do when I grow up. You know, so I wanted the best for my son, and after grade 10 we said, okay, that's it. And the other thing was, I never went to parent-teacher interviews. I went to one when my son was in grade 5 or maybe 4, and I sat across the table and I restrained myself from grabbing someone's neck. You know? So when we brought him here, I came to a parent-teacher interview, and you know what? I just wrote down like 4 words about this school, and committed, dedicated, professional, and good hands. I mean, this is an extremely hands-on school for your students. And all this stuff, it was really good, and it is all really true. They are moving the kids forward, which I didn't feel was happening in the other school. So my son, who's already been accepted to go to school in university, we're happy with that. That's great. He's not sure still what he wants to do, because you know, we never got here early enough to have that guidance. But if I could use some words to sum up how my son feels, he feels that he's excelled here. And he just said it. He's gone from being a good student to a really, really good student. You know, I heard Sandra talking earlier about how the teachers and the parents collaborate. And I mean, if you're parents out there and you're looking for somewhere for your son or daughter to excel, I mean, I may be biased. We're getting out of here now, going to university, but yeah, I would say this is the spot for you. I mean, there are some other schools you could go to, and I know my nephew is in a private school in Toronto, but it is so much more like a public school, those big private schools. This place here, it's really condensed. The classes are small, and the teachers are so dedicated that you're really going to be in good hands. And I guess the other what I'll leave on is that parents, along with the teachers, collaborate so much that it really makes the journey for the student fun. Because you are never left in the dark knowing what's going on. And by the time your son or daughter reaches grade 11, they're so used to sharing with you that it's just normal. It's just natural now that they come home and they say, I got homework to do. I mean, I never